So at first I thought people were reaching, calling Carti a devil worshipper, but I sat down and decided to look into it a bit more, and it's interesting to say the least. There were a shit ton of conspiracies on Carti being a Satanist online, but the funny thing is, there was barely anything about this topic before Whole Lotta Red. Like 90% of the shit you see about Carti being a devil worshipper or whatever comes after he dropped Whole Lotta Red. But that isn't to say there's nothing. With something like Yeet, there's a ton to talk about even if you drag it like all the way back to before he blew up. But with Carti, there isn't much at all, but again, that isn't to say there's nothing. The first and only association with the devil I could find from like the SoundCloud era of Carti was this lyric on Pray For Me.
I got a day with the devil, whoa, hey, I'm a rock star, heavy metal, yeah.
And that's it. And let's be honest, it means fuck all. That is literally it. Even Kanye, who has a whole fucking project named Jesus is King, has mentioned selling his soul to the devil before in his lyrics. The lyric as a one-off is completely meaningless. So 2015 to 2017 Carti was really just your average rapper. Nothing satanic, nothing crazy, just a good old Christian. 2018, the Dilate era, is the first bit of actual Satanism we begin to see from Carti. And what you'll notice is this whole devil persona / aesthetic is sort of a gradual change. And I think around 2018 is where people genuinely slowly became concerned about this satanic stuff. It first started with his Dilate tour merch, and you see tons of crazy straight up satanic designs, stuff like inverted pentagrams and demonic variations of crosses, and even during the tour itself he had a giant pentagram on the screen behind him whilst he was performing. And this whole new aesthetic kinda came out when like there weren't really any hints to it, not even musically. But it's not like Carti's entire style revolved around it like it does today, you know, he's like still dressing normally and shit. And this is also the period where people would start deep diving into his tats and shit. Like Carti's a tattoo of the satanic goat, more specifically Baphomet, which is basically a demonic symbol that originated in the 14th century that's like a defamation of God. And whilst people were analyzing these tats, they also started realizing Carti was wearing a lot of upside down crosses, which obviously has satanic meaning. Now between Dilate and Whole Lotta Red, I don't know what the fuck happened. Like I know the devil took him to the green room or some shit, because 2020 Carti is just completely unrecognizable. Like at least 2018 Carti still kept his style, but 2020 Carti is just a completely new man. You see him doing photo shoots with devil horns, wearing face paint and pointing teeth to look like a vampire. If you took a time machine back to 2017 and said this is gonna be Carti in 3 years, people would think you snorted 50 fucking kg of coke. And this whole change of style is basically what caused these whole devil accusations to go mainstream, because if you deep it, he's had devil related tats and merch all the way since 2018. He's been rocking upside down crosses and chains since 2018, but no one will really pay attention to this other than Carti since he doesn't mention the devil enough or as explicitly as some like Yeet or Uzi do to make people dig this shit up. But after this 2-year-old break, we have one of the most anticipated albums of the year, and the rollout consists of satanic merch, imagery, and you looking like a bisexual fucking vampire. People are finally gonna clock onto your devil persona. Like it had gotten to the point where people would see a pixelated drone image of Carti taken from 500 meters away and treat it like they just witnessed the second coming of fucking Christ, because that's how rare he was to see. So people seeing this rollout for the first time would pay more attention to the satanic imagery compared to like 2 to 3 years ago when Carti was still rocking fucking Supreme and cargos. Like who's not to say Carti didn't spend these whole 2 years laying low on social media trying to plan all this out? Because if he did, he's a fucking genius, and it worked. Because Carti's tattoo artist posted a picture of yet another satanic tat, and this time the tat was straight up saying the word Satan with a pentagram on the back of his neck. And obviously it got people talking. So do I think Carti's a devil worshipper? No, I think it's just a persona. Probably. Like, I think it's a bit extreme to get that shit tied on you personally, but I'm not one to judge, you know? Just not something I would do for an aesthetic, because better safe than sorry. Carti's even said the devil was whack, and I'm not trying to risk going to hell because of fucking tat. Carti's obviously like really into the punk aesthetic, and I think this is just like an extreme continuation of that, and I think his admiration for it probably made him think it could be like a cool way to get like buzz and attention into his music, and it definitely worked. Like most of the time I think people exaggerate how much clout being a Satanist gives your music, but I think if Carti didn't have this whole image of being this satanic vampire, Whole Lotta Red wouldn't be as popular as it was today.